The bears have had a really good run so far, but I've got some on-chain data that's probably going to smash their opinions. And it's going to, if you're a bull right now, it's going to make you very, very comfortable. Now, I'm going to start with this because I really need to make this point right now. And I'm sure many of you will agree, but here's this. On Thanksgiving, Bitcoin price was at 28 cents. Move on to 2014, $376. Move on to 2019, $7,150. Move on to 2025, $91,711. There's not a short-term trader on earth that will ever do as good as long-term bulls in this space, especially Bitcoin, considering it has an inelastic supply, meaning there's no more than 21 million Bitcoin that are ever going to be available. So you can just chill for a decade, relax, don't even have to look at a chart, and do better than pretty much 100% of traders out there. I don't care how loud you might think traders are on Twitter or YouTube. Over the long run, they're losing their butts, okay? Moving on, we have Nick Crypto. Bitcoin is back above 90,000. Actually, it's over $91,000. Highly unusual to rise a day before Thanksgiving holiday. We've had declines in 6 of the past 7 years. Very interesting. Well, look at this on-chain data. 1.8 million Bitcoin have left exchanges last week or over the past week. This is not normal. Someone knows something is coming. This is from Wrecked Fencer. Okay, so yeah, obviously, I think what's happening right now is Bitcoin is so flipping oversold right now that smart money is going, we're not selling anything. Like, go ahead. The plebs can sell their coins for fiat because, obviously all the YouTubers and Twitter people that are so smart claiming that we're in a bear market right now, they're the ones, they know exactly what's going to happen, right? So instead of doing that, just selling your Bitcoin, panic selling, because that's what's happened. A lot of people got wrecked on 1010, but now people are panic selling their Bitcoin. Guess who's buying that? Smart money. So the rest of those guys that are selling, I can piss people off all I want right now. You guys are going to be poor, really poor. And just wait. Okay, here we go. Credible on Twitter says total open interest tanked on October 10th during that massive liquidation. $19 billion of liquidation. That was beautiful. And has simply been bleeding lower ever since. That is healthy. You want to see lower amounts of leverage for healthier moves in this space. I know this is contrary to most of the YouTubers and Twitter people that you watch or whatever that are saying, oh yeah, we need to, it's so sad that, that liquidation event happened. Not at all. That was a beautiful event, by the way. Wild to see, but also a good thing for the general health of the market. Exactly. Without significant leverage in the system, mass liquidation events like this one we saw on October 10th don't have the fuel necessarily to occur again. Exactly. So that leverage was the fuel for manipulators to go ahead and smash prices like we saw that time in October 10th, okay? So that's why people got smashed, because they're just a bunch of degen gamblers. I feel no sympathy for these people whatsoever. If you were gambling, you had 1, 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x leverage, I do not feel sorry for you at all. Learn your lesson, okay? Getting liquidated is a very expensive education, okay? So make sure that education is worth something that you paid for, and you're actually going to be now responsible, and you have risk management. Check out learningcrypto.com if you do want to see what healthy risk management means and how to survive like it had nothing happen during October 10th, okay? Because we were very happy, by the way. He goes on to say, lastly, the current deleveraging event from $126,000 to $80,000 has resulted in a 40 to 50% decrease in open interest so far. So keep in mind that last year when we experienced that drop from 90,000 to 74,000, we decreased 33% open interest back then. Now we're at 40 to 50% decrease in open interest. That means the market is much, much healthier now, especially for long-term holders. And I'm begging you guys, do not get into leverage. I'm telling you, you're gonna lose your butts. Don't listen to these trader guys on Twitter or whatever that are telling you, yeah, it's okay to do 1 to 2x. You saw what happened. You're gonna get wrecked, okay? Now let's go over to the Fed Reserve and see what they're doing. Okay, so the plebs are selling for fiat right now because they don't trust Bitcoin anymore. The whole world's in a recession and everything's bad, and now that means they should sell Bitcoin like a knucklehead, okay? Breaking, the Fed quietly injected $125 billion into the U.S. banking system, marking its largest short-term liquidity move since the 2020 government lockdown crisis. Yeah, you know what? They're going to be printing so much currency. It's ridiculous. You haven't seen anything yet. I know I say that, and it's so true. Every year, my mind is blown. Like the last $1 trillion they've just printed was over 70 days. And I'm predicting, this is my prediction right here, that by the time the next US election happens, the US will be printing every 20 days, $1 trillion. And if that's not bad enough, guys, if their printing currency isn't even bad enough, they aren't even trying to hide it anymore. This is the absolute decline of the US empire. And I know you might be thinking, oh, you're just guilty of hyperbole. No. Check this out. The Pentagon has failed its 7th audit in a row as they were unable to account for more than half of their $3.8 trillion in assets, $979 billion annual budget. These guys are just all criminals, man. Just all criminals. I could go off on a rant right now, but I'm not. I'm going to hold back because that's what our permissionless podcast is going to be all about. And we've just got finished with our first episode. Mo money, mo problems. And you're definitely going to want to hear that. So I will share that link later on when we finish this podcast, the website and all that stuff. So lastly, we have major UBI finds that giving cash to poor people just makes them quit work. They don't get healthy or start a business. They don't get their life together. They actually become worse parents. Like most welfare, UBI is about bribing the poor to stay poor. And what have I been predicting over the past year is that the United States is getting ready for massive amounts of universal basic income. Why is that? Because people are going to be poor over there. There's going to be that wealth divide, like in South Africa. You have, when I lived over there, I was living next to shanty towns essentially, and then you have the rich, and there's nothing in between. And that's how it's going to be because the Federal Reserve, like I've said, is printing so much currency, it would make your head spin. And they're just getting started, guys. Do you think this is going to end and you're selling your Bitcoin at $80,000 when it just did a freaking $126,000 top and you're freaking out over a 35% dip, which is a completely normal dip, by the way. Guys, I've been in this space for a very long time. I know I keep saying that. I'm not trying to brag here, but I'm sharing with you my experience without anybody holding my hand. I've experienced drops in the 70, 80, 90% range, and not one of those scared me out of my Bitcoin position. Yes, I could have probably taken profit on those positions as well when we had topped. But in my mindset, I'm going, well, the Federal Reserve is printing so much currency. It's only a matter of time till this money, like the world's money, flows into things like Bitcoin because it is inflation hedge and it's an inelastic asset. All right. With that said, let me know down below what you think. If you think that the U.S. is just going to be kicking butt and taking names and the U.S. dollar is going to be kicking butt. And also, if you're selling your Bitcoin right here, and if you are, you know what? Why are you even watching this channel? Essentially, go ahead and watch, the day traders and try to liquidate yourself that way. Otherwise, if you do want to play this smart, check out this channel, like and subscribe. Many of you are not subscribed. If you want to learn about money, subscribe to this channel, guys. Talk to you soon.